up in the sky. Look, it's captivating. It's energizing. It's Eliances Heroes. Eliances is the destination for entrepreneurs, investors, CEOs, inventors, leaders, celebrities, and startups, where our heroes in business align. Now, here's your host flying in, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
I can't wait to get started with our first hero on the Eliances Hero Show. By the way, too, thank you for the feedback that we had from having the recent co-founder of Hotwire and the CEO of TaskRabbit on our show. So make sure you go to Eliances.com to listen to those past episodes. Well, let me tell you about this next hero. First of all, she works for a company that I think, and correct me wrong if I'm wrong, Jennifer, is that every single person almost on this planet has heard of. It's a company called Facebook. That's right. And she is the one that is head of Facebook groups. She's the former president of Change.org and is doing so many things. In fact, most important is she just came out with a book called Purposeful. Are you a manager or a movement starter? And you could reach her at purposefulbook.com, or of course we'll have it on our website, Eliances.com. Now let's talk about Purposeful Book. What's the essence of this book?
The essence of the book is that all of us have the power to be movement starters that create change in the world, whether it's the world at large or our workplaces or our neighborhoods. This is something all of us can do.
Now, what are two of the secrets, though, of something that we could do now to make that type of impact?
So in Purposeful, I tell a huge variety of stories. They range from, a young woman with Down syndrome who was able to persuade Congress to pass a huge law benefiting Americans with disabilities, to an entrepreneur who is reinventing personal nutrition and everything in between. And the key thing to remember is that movements are all started by individuals or a small set of individuals, and they're all started with a single small action. So even if you have something really big in mind, the key is to just get started. And I sometimes describe it as being similar to a standing ovation. It's like that brave person who's the very first one to stand up and clap in an audience after a show. And movements start when there's that first courageous person, and then the next few people stand up to join them.
Are you ever too young or too old to do and to start and to do something regarding movement?
Absolutely not. And I have everyone in this book from, 8th graders to grandparents. So really anybody can do this. And again, it's about finding that vision of what matters to you. How do you want the world to look? Again, whether it could be in your school, it could be in your neighborhood, understanding what you want it to look like, why that matters to you, and then finding a personal story that resonates with it is the key.
What's it like to be head of Facebook groups and communities that, you simply say the word Facebook, people's jaws probably drop and go, yeah, I'm on there all the time.
That's right. And it's, I have to say my job, I feel very lucky to have this job because my role is to support the tens of millions of people who start and run communities on Facebook and the 1.5 billion people who join these communities to find a sense of belonging and connection to other people over the things that they care about. So Facebook groups are about everything from parenting to health issues that people have in common to those passionate hobbies that, make you feel like you're different, but actually you can find people who do just the same thing as you do. I heard yesterday about someone who's in a group for women in beekeeping, and she says she loves this group because she finds people who have that in common with her.
Now, one of the things, too, is that prior to you coming on, we have a number of people that responded that wanted to ask some questions. And one of those questions, actually a number of them were in common, is how and what is the best way for them to promote their Facebook group and also help create that movement?
Yeah, so one of the things about movements is that, as I said, it requires an individual with a vision of what they want to change. And then the second step, once you have that clearly outlined and, your story together to tell about it, is to ask people for help. And so there's a great story in Purposeful about a young woman named Megan Grassel who took her 13-year-old sister, bra shopping and found that there were only like really sexy push-up lace bras available, which she didn't think were appropriate for her pre-teen sister. And so she decided she wanted to change that, and that she wanted to start making bras that were age appropriate for younger girls. And she started this company called Yellowberry, but she wasn't, she basically used all the money that she had available as a teenager to make her first prototype. And then once she wanted to take it further, she wasn't sure what to do, and so she started asking people for help. She created a crowdfunding campaign, and then she asked the people she knew, and then she was courageous, and she reached out to 200 people she didn't know, bloggers and influencers who she thought might be interested in her product, and one of those people ended up posting about it, and Megan raised $25,000 in basically overnight after this particular post. So the first piece of advice I give to people is just don't be afraid to ask for help. That is what gets movements started. And it's true on Facebook too. The people who are the most successful at building movements on top of the Facebook platform are those that are willing to tell their own story, do it in an engaging way that pulls people in. And I think of it kind of like hosting a party sometimes. You have to invite people before they come to your party, and then you have to introduce them and start conversations, and that's what really gets things going.
Absolutely fantastic. And you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show, the only place where entrepreneurs align. So make sure you go to Eliances.com. That's Eliances.com, because we have Jennifer Dulski, the former president of Change.org and head of Facebook groups. You could reach her at purposefulbook.com, or of course, Jennifer, do you have a Facebook group?
I do. There's a group called Purposeful for people who've read the book and want to talk about it, or people who are interested in starting their own movements, whether they're entrepreneurs or activists. Anyone can join this group for free, and it's about helping each other push these movements forward.
Now, Jennifer, I've also got something cool about you, too, something neat. I don't know if a lot of people know, but you are the first woman to sell a company to Google.
That's right.
What company was that?
Well, it's both a stat I'm proud of and sad about, I think. So I started a company in 2007 called the Deal Map, which was a mobile app that allowed you to find all the stores in your neighborhood that had something on sale. And you could look at any neighborhood in the U.S. and Canada and see thousands of businesses that were having sales. And in 2010, actually 2011, I think Google bought the Deal Map, and I realized I was the first female entrepreneur to sell a company to Google. Now there have been several others after me.
Incredible. Well, Jennifer, you're also a mother of 2 children. What do you share with them, secrets about motivating and inspiring change in them?
Yeah, I do. I have 2 teenage daughters, and I think that there's probably a lot they've picked up through osmosis, but I have to say they are pretty inspiring people in and of their own right. So, this year they were able to take a class in school, which I think is very Silicon Valley, called Design Engineering for Social Good. And they each built a product. One was a handheld device to help people with social anxiety that had a pulse like your heartbeat and a light that went on and off so that you could breathe to it. And the other one worked on a team to build an app to help keep young women safe after parties called Friend Watch, where you could alert your friends if you were in trouble. And so I think they have this spirit of change within them, and kids today are really capable of anything.
Well, Jennifer, you're a change maker and lead others to inspire them to pursue purposeful lives. Jennifer Dulski, find her book, Purposeful. Are you a manager or a movement starter? Go to purposefulbook.com, or of course, Eliances.com. This is David Kogan with Eliances, and when we return, the CEO and founder of Direct Source Wealth, Kara Golden.